So welcome everybody. My name is Sara and I will be leading you through this 40-minute yoga sculpt. So kind of two things right off the bat. If you want to use weights or any other kind of props that you have, feel free to put them towards the top of your space. So you'll see that I put 2 weights there. If you want them, you don't need them, but if you wanted a little extra, feel free to do so. So we're going to get started. We're just going to find a comfortable seat. Feel free to cross your ankles, or if you want to sit kind of however you want to. We'll just try to find a nice long spine. You can start to roll your shoulders a few times up and back out of your ears. And then we'll bring our hands to our shoulders and start to draw some circles with the elbows. And here, we're just going to reach both arms up to the ceiling. Take a big stretch. And then go up and over towards your right side. And as you lean over, maybe roll out that top wrist. You can even change your focus and look up or down. Circle that wrist in both directions and then start to take big arm circles. Again, you can kind of open and close your chest, look up or down. Go the opposite way. And we'll sit up nice and tall, reaching both arms high. And switch that, leaning over to your left. Again, maybe start in that wrist, take some circles, look up or down. Go the opposite way. Add those big arm circles, opening chest. And reverse directions. And we'll sit up nice and tall. We're going to come to our hands and knees, finding a tabletop, making sure we're stacking shoulders over wrists. Hips over our knees. We're going to move into some cat and cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin and chest, arch the spine. As you exhale, head gets heavy, pressing the ground away. Inhale, cow, arch the spine. Exhaling, cat back, pressing the ground away. Move through this a few more times. Option if you want to turn your fingers out or even back towards your legs. Get a little extra wrist stretch. Maybe even tuck your toes. You can add in some side to sides, or maybe even circle your head and your tail. And take about 3 to 4 more breaths with any sort of movement. We're going to come back to our tabletop, a neutral spine. From here, we're just going to take our left leg, keeping that knee bent. Just try to lift that leg out to the side and tap it back down. Again, lifting that leg up and back down. Lift and lower. 4 more. Lift and lower for 3. Up and down. Last 2. Lift and lower. 1 more. Lift and lower. Now extend that leg behind you. Press your heel away. And then draw that knee to your nose, find that same cat back. Inhale, press the leg away. Long spine, long leg. Knee to nose. 2 more. Press that leg back. Draw the knee in. Again, stretch it back. Drawing the knee in. And release back to our tabletop. We're going to switch that onto the other side. So right knee is bent, float it up and down. Lift straight up and down. Again, and lift and lower. Lift, 4 more. Lift. And up, draw it back in. Stretch that right heel and leg behind you. Then bend the knee to your nose, cat back. Stretch the leg and spine. Draw the knee to our nose. Again, stretch. Draw the knee in. 2 more. Stretch. Pull it in. Last one. Stretch. Draw the knee in. Release to tabletop. We'll tuck our toes. Walking hands towards our feet. You can kind of find this little crouch and curl. Your head can be heavy. Maybe check in here. Nod it yes. Shake it no. We'll start to stretch those legs out, finding a rag doll. You can take those feet further apart, grabbing elbows, grabbing shoulders. Keep on the amount of bend in your knees. Maybe start to sway side to side. If there's any tension in our low back or hamstrings, take your feet further apart or find a deeper bend in the knees. Feel free to stay just as you are. If you want to add a little twist, left fingertips down, setting our right arm high. If you are twisting, switch, setting the left arm up. And hands back down, bring the feet underneath our hips. We'll walk our hands forward into our down dog. Walk those hands forward, gently press your heels towards the ground. Maybe start to pedal through your feet. Alternate some bends in the knees. Option if you want to start to warm up those shoulders, you can try to shift towards your high plank, stack shoulders over wrists. And stretch back into your down dog. Maybe take that a few times. And we're going to all meet in our high plank, stacking shoulders over wrists. We're going to start to warm up that core just a little bit. So tapping our knees one at a time, right knee to your ground, stretch it back up and switch. Left knee and stretch, right knee down. And stretch, left knee down. Option instead, if you want to take both knees at the same time, like a hovering tabletop. We're here for 10. Choose one or both for 9, for 8, for 7, for 6, down dog in 5, in 4. Keep breathing for 3, for 2. And 1, press back to your down dog. Take a couple breaths. Maybe some open mouth exhales. Begin to walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Find a little softness in your knees. Head is heavy. Begin to roll up through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. When you arrive to standing, roll the shoulders up and back out of our ears. We're going to inhale, just stretch both arms, reaching high, interlace hands behind our head. Start to open the elbows and lifting our chin and chest. And straightening the spine, arms reach high. And release, find a forward fold, bring your chest back down. We'll step our left foot back to a low lunge. Front knee is directly over our ankle. We're going to bring that back knee down. Hands can stay down, or if you want to reach those arms up high. Option to find a little twist, open arms, setting your right arm back. You want to bring that hand down to the ground. And release hands to our mat. We're going to lift that back knee, step back to our high planks. From knees or toes, 3 push-ups. You can always release those knees down. Lower maybe about halfway, press up. Keep your chest leaning forward. And up, 1 more, down. And up, tuck your toes if you need, down dog, stretch it back. Bring your feet to your hands, forward folds. Again, roll up through your spine. Take a little shoulder roll, reach both arms high, lift up. Hands behind our head, elbows wide, open the chest. Straighten the spine, arms up, release to your forward fold, chest comes down. Right foot steps back, low lunge. Again, front knee is over our ankle, back knee down. Hands can stay down or reach up. Option to take that twist your left arm back. You want to bring that right hand down to the ground to find that twist. Again, both hands to our mat. We're going to step back to your high planks. Again, 3 push-ups from knees or toes. Lower about halfway. Press up. 2 more and lower. And up. 1 more down. And up. Tuck your toes. Down dog. Stretch it back. And this time we're going to stretch our right leg high. Kind of stretch that heel towards your ceiling. Bend your knee, draw it in towards your nose. Come forward towards your plank. Stretch that right leg back up. Knee to your nose. We're going to come through to our low lunge. And kind of help that foot come forward. Now this is where if you want to take some weights, feel free to grab them or let those weights be on the ground if you don't want them. We're going to come up to a high crescent lunge. Reach your arms up. Now from here, we're going to airplane our arms. Reach your fingertips back. Now option if you want to is start to pulse your arms up and down. Whether you have weights or not. We're here for 8, for 7, for 6. High crescent lunge in 5, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch your arms, lift your spine. Standing tall. If you have your weights, you can hold on to them. Warrior 2, we're spinning that back heel down. Open your arms up to a big T. So our right knee is bent. Press that back heel out. Keep your arms wide. If you have your weights, option to start to draw them in and open. If you have no weights, we're going to add the legs. Stretch and re-bend the knee and stretch. Bend your knee and stretch. Knee bends. As you bend your knee, keep it tracking over your toes. 3 more. In and out. Last 2. And 1. Find that knee bent. Draw your hands in. Spin that back heel. We're going to kind of turn towards the front. Bring your weights down and step your feet together. Forward folds. Now inhale, chair, bend the knees, weight to the heels, reaching our arms up. Now bring those hands into heart center. You can kind of just interlace your hands. Keep the weight into our heels. We're going to take that same left leg. Keep your knees bent, hips are back. Tap your left toe out and in, out and in. Keep your chest forward, hips are back and in, out and in. 2 more. Out and in, out and in. Now stretch everything. Big breath in. Release to your forward folds. Step back to your high planks. This time come all the way down into the ground. And we're going to inhale, lift your legs, hover your hands, begin to lift your chest. We're holding here. Hug your elbows in. Lengthen your legs. Chest is lifted. Long spine for 5. Keep breathing for 4. Down dog in 3. In 2. And 1. Release tabletop or high plank. Down dog. Stretch it back. Always know this is a point for you to catch your breath. Maybe you can find a tabletop if you need to. We're doing all that on our left side. So sending our left leg high, stretch that heel. Bend your knee, come to your chest, shift forward. Again, stretch that left leg high. Bring it all the way through to your low lunge. You can adjust that foot underneath your knee, underneath your heel. Hands to your weights if you need. Coming up high crescent lunge. Stretch those arms high. Left knee is bent, press through that right heel. Again, airplane your arms, chest comes forward. Weights or no weights, we're here. Pulse those arms and triceps. for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, high crescent lunge 4, in 3, 2, and 1. Send those arms back up, stretch your spine. Draw your hands in, spin that back heel down, warrior 2. Again, your left knee is bent. Press that right heel up, arms out to your T. Weights or no weights? Weights, draw your arms in and open. Stretch your legs straight, re-bend. Again, stretch and open. Make sure front knees are going over your toes. Stretch. 4 more. In and open. For 3 and open. Last 2 and 1. From here, weights hug in. Spin that back heel. Turn back to your front. Weights to the ground if you have them. Bring your feet together. Forward folds. Weight into our heels. Bend our knees. Chair. Lift the chest. Reach up. Hands can come back in. Kind of hug your elbows in. Keep that weight into your heels. Hips are pressing back. Right toe taps out. In and out. Bring it in. Out and in. 4 more. Out and in. Weight stays back. Chest is forward. 2 and 1. Now stretch our breathing. Take a big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Chest comes down. Step back to our high planks. All the way down to our bellies. Again, hovering our hands. Start to lift your chest, lift your legs. Breathe here. Keep lifting and reaching out for 5. Tabletop or high plank, down dog in 4. In 3. In 2. And 1. Release. Tabletop or high plank. Down dog. Catch your breath. Settle in. We're going to add on to all of that. Just 1 more round. Both sides. As you're ready, send your right leg high. Bend that knee and shift forward. Stretch that right leg high. Bring it through low lunge. Weights or no weights. High crescent lunge. Reach tall. Now this time, bend your arms in. If you have your weights, you can add a little bit. So we're going to lean forward. This time our arms are reaching down. Draw your elbows in and stretch down. In. Now, option if you want to add some more in the legs, especially if you don't have weights. You can try to find a balance here, lifting that back leg, and maybe even try to add those arms up and down. If you want to just hold your arms and try to tap your left foot up and down instead, keep that leg straight. Option to try to take everything, bending the elbows and floating that left leg, tap it up and down. You choose what you need here for 8. For 7, try to find that balance for 6. High crescent lunge in 5. In 4. 3. 2. 1. High crescent lunge, reach tall. This time, if you have your weights, release them back down. We're going to all open to our warrior 2. Bending into those right knees and toes, arms out to that T. This time, straighten that front leg, reach your right arm high, reverse triangle. Find a big stretch. Extending into your triangle, reach your right arm forward, press into your left hip. Reach out and down. Keep that same opening in your arms and chest. Soften that front knee if you need to. Press into the feet, reverse triangle again. Stretch up high. Hands to our front foot. We're going to turn to our low lunge. From here, bring that back knee down. We'll take a little half splits. Pull that right hip back. Start to bring your nose towards your knee. If you're feeling anything on that back knee, feel free to sit all the way, hip to your heel. Or if you prefer to be up standing on both feet, we'll stay just for a little bit here, finding that right hamstring stretch. We're coming back to our low lunge. This time stepping back to our high planks. We're gonna come to a side plank. So you can have your legs a little bit separated as our heels both drop to the right side. Making sure our shoulders over wrist, come to your forearm if you need to. Reaching our left arm high, we're adding a little oblique here. As you exhale, bring that left hand to tap towards your right ribs as you kind of twist and curve. Inhale, open up. And then cross tap towards your right ribs. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Find your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. 3 more. Inhale, open. And cross. Inhale, open. And cross. 1 more. Open. And cross. Now open up. Hold this side plank. Squeeze that right side, right hip to your right rib. High planks. Press right back to your down dog. Our left side, sending that left leg high. Bend the knee to your nose. Shift forward. Stretch that left leg high. Bring it through low lunge. Grab your weights if you like. High crescent lunge. Reach up. Now again, draw your elbows in. Lean your chest forward. Arms straight down. If you were taking just those arm bends, pulling in and out, maybe instead you find that balance, float that right leg. Add those elbow bends if you want. Or again, maybe just trying to float that right leg up, tap those toes down. Or everything together, you choose this side, balancing on your left leg. We're here for 8, for 7. Find that balance and breath for 6, 4, 5, 4, last 3, high crescent lunge 2, and 1, high crescent lunge. Elbows in, weights to the ground. Warrior 2, right heel spins down. Keep bending into your left knee. Arms out nice and wide. Straightening that front leg, reverse triangle, reaching high. Now taking our triangles, reach that left arm forward, press into your right hip. Reaching out, then down. Keep that same opening in your arms and chest. You can soften that front knee just a little bit. Press your feet into the ground, reverse triangle, stretch up. Hands to our front foot, find your low lunge. We'll bring that back knee down. Take your half splits, stretch that left hamstring. You straighten that leg, nose towards our knee. Again, if you want to sink your hip towards your heel, or if you prefer to be up on both feet. Most important thing here in this stretch, keep breathing. We're coming back to our low lunge. High plank, step both feet back. Again, you can have them a little bit separated. Heels drop to our left side. Left hand is underneath your left shoulder. Side plank, right arm high. Again, as we exhale, we're going to cross, try to tap towards our left ribs. Find a little curve and twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross and tap. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. And cross. 3 more. Open and cross. Last 2. open, cross, one more, open, and cross. Now open up, side plank, squeeze that left hip, left rib. You're here for 3. High plank in 2, and 1. High planks, down dog, stretch back. Find a couple breaths. We're going to come into our tabletop. So releasing our shins down to the ground. And from here, we're going to find just a little bit of a back bend. So you can bring your hips to your heels, sitting up tall. Now, if this is uncomfortable on the knee joints, feel free to just take a seat, crossing your ankles. We'll start to walk our hands back behind us. Try to roll the shoulders down. Start to lift chin and chest. And then we'll release, walk those hands forward, tabletop. We'll tuck our toes, stretch up and back into our down dogs. Looking to our hands, top of our space, bring those feet up forward, folds. From here, we're going to bend those knees, finding our chair, reaching the arms high. Now we're going to find a little twist. So keep the weight into your heels. We're going to open arm twist, sending our right arm back. So as we twist, notice if your knees kind of misaligned. Try to keep those knees both square to the front. Now, option here is to add a little heel lift. So instead of your weight into your heels, rock your weight forward, lift your heels and lower. Keep your knees bent, lift and lower. And it's a little bit of a twist and balance. Lift and lower. Squeeze those legs towards each other. Lift and lower. 3 more. Lift, lower. Last 2. Lift and lower. And lift and lower. Square back to the front, finding your chair. Realign, weight into your heels first. Knees square to the front. Open, twist your left arm back. Now again, notice if your knees misaligned. Square them off, twisting your spine. You can stay here or rock your way forward. Lift your heels and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. Squeeze those legs towards each other if you're lifting your heels. 4 more. Lift. 4, 3. Lift. Last 2. Lift. 1 more. Lift and lower. Square back to the front. Stretch those legs. Take a big breath in. Release to your forward fold. From here, we're just going to take a seat. So you can sit all the way down. We're going to stretch our legs out in front of us. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake. So we're going to move a little bit more into our core and our spine as we start to cool down. So bending our knees. We're going to bring hands underneath the legs. And start to just gently shift your weight back. So you're leaning back. Boat pose, float one leg, then the other. Squeeze your legs together. Try to get your shins parallel to the ground and the ceiling. Option to let go of your hands from your legs. Option to float your arms up towards your ceiling. Try to keep those shoulders out of the ears. Maybe take it into a wide V. Holding here. And option, if you want to, is start to extend arms and legs like a big high V. Draw everything back in. Extend into a V. Draw it back in. You can take this, just your legs, keeping your arms forward, or maybe even just take your chest, reaching back, pulling in. You choose what you want to do here. We're here for 8. 4, 7, maybe play around with it for 6, 4, 5, keep breathing 4, we'll release in 2, and 1, release those feet, And then open your knees out, soles of the feet together, let your knees maybe rock a little side to side. Maybe you felt that on your hip flexors, the front of the hips. We'll take a stretch here. You can start to walk your hands forward, drawing your nose towards the feet and ankles. Give you nice deep breaths in and out. Sitting ourselves up, stretch our legs out in front. We're gonna roll all the way down onto our backs. Feel free to hug your knees in. If you want to take a little massage here, maybe rock side to side. Take some circles. You can also kind of plant your feet, let your knees windshield wiper side to side. We're gonna add in a little bit more abdominal work here. So we're going to draw those knees to our chest, and we're stretching our legs up towards the ceiling. Knees can be slightly bent. Bring your arms out to a goal pose. From here, we're going to imagine there's a clock on our ceiling. So 12 o'clock, feet are pointing straight up, whether knees are bent or straight. We're going to start to move around the clock, clockwise. Take some circles in the legs. To the right, bring it around towards the 6 o'clock, a little bit on a diagonal, towards the 9, back up to 12. You can take this circle small clock, or a little bit bigger, but try to keep your upper back and your mid back flat to the ground. Your hips are going to move a little bit, low back is going to move a little bit, but maybe try to keep it smaller and slower. Notice where your hips and maybe your back wants to take over. Try to keep that low back relaxed. See if you can take 3 to 4 in the clockwise direction. And find your way back to 12 o'clock. We're gonna counterclockwise now. To the left, circle down, to the 3 o'clock, back up. And notice as you move in this direction, making it a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger if you need to. Keep the arms and upper back flat to the ground. The other important thing is to keep breathing here. Take 3 or 4 more counter direction. And then finding your way back to 12 o'clock. Drawing our knees into our chest. This time drawing our forehead to our knees. Try to curve the upper back. You can interlace hands behind your head if you'd like to, elbows wide. At any point, head can release down. We're going to keep our right knee in, extending our left leg, have it floating off the ground. If you want to be lifted, maybe start to twist, elbow towards your knee. Come back to the center, then extend and switch. Back to the center. So find that center point, maybe even lifting your chest there if you're letting it release. You can always extend, and then as you pull everything in, lift your chest. If you're adding your twist, come back to that center and really just focus on using your abdominals. Center, twist, center, take 2 more in both directions. If you're twisting, finish off that last one, draw your knees in, you can let your head be heavy. We'll plant our feet back down to the ground. Arms are at our sides, we're gonna engage the glutes and start to roll up through the spine, finding a bridge pose. Option, if you want to, is interlace your hands underneath you, and maybe you can kind of tuck one shoulder at a time, lifting your chest higher. From here, we're going to extend our left heel towards our ceiling. Keep the hips lifted, lower that left leg. Bring it back up and lower. Back up, try to keep your hips lifted the whole time. 4 more, down and up. Keep the glutes engaged. Last 2, down. If hands are interlaced, release. Roll down through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're gonna switch that out. So plant those feet again, engage the glutes first, roll up through the spine. If you are adding that chest expansion, other thumb on top. Maybe try to tuck those shoulders underneath you. Keep the hips lifted. We'll extend that right heel towards our ceiling. Lower the leg. Lift it up and lower. Keep the hips at that same point, as high as they can be. And lower. 4 more. Lift, lower. Last 3. Up and lower. 2, lower. 1 more. Up and lower. Lift that leg. Bending that knee, plant the foot. Release the hands, roll down through the spine. And you can let your knees kind of windshield wiper side to side. And from here, drawing our right knee into our chest. You can extend left leg long if you'd like to. Kind of roll out that right ankle. Circle it in one direction. Maybe start to go the opposite way. You can kind of open and close that right leg. If you want to add a little stretch here, maybe straighten that right leg. You can kind of bend and straighten the knee a few times if you'd like. We're going to move to a twist, supine twist. So right leg is going to cross the body. You can bring your arms back out to a T or goalpost. Option is to bend that bottom leg or even step your legs one on top of the other. Maybe you let your right ear get heavy. Bring that right cheek to the ground. Almost imagine that you're trying to get as flat as a pancake here. Deepen the breath. Maybe even let yourself back out of the twist just a little. And then one leg at a time, coming back into the center. And we'll keep that left knee in. You can extend your right leg. We'll start by rolling out the left ankle, circle, go both directions. You maybe want to kind of open and close that left hip and knee. Or maybe start to bend and straighten the leg, finding a hamstring stretch. And then we'll move to our twists. Again, left leg can start to cross the body. Arms out to your goalpost. Feel free to support that leg by bending your bottom knee or stacking your legs. Left ear, left cheek can come to the ground. And so you can melt and release a little bit more. And gently, one leg at a time, drawing us back into the center. And draw your knees in close, forehead towards your knees. Take a big inhale, squeeze. As you exhale, stretch everything out to a big X. 2 more times like that. Inhale, squeeze close. Exhale, release, big X. 1 more inhale, squeeze. Exhale, extend out. Think about 4 to 5 full body deep breaths. Maybe as you do so, kind of shake your legs, kind of let your hips rock, let your head rock. Feel free to just hang out there, a couple extra breaths if you need or want. All right. You are all done with me. Take your time, kind of moving your body, making your way back out. We didn't take a water break, so grab some water, do whatever you need to do. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'm Sarah. If you're sticking around for that stretch break, grab some water and Ryan will take over. Otherwise, we'll hopefully see you next time, everybody.